All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's at least the afternoon for me. I hope it's not too early in the morning for the rest of you. A very warm welcome to our webinar. Thank you so much for joining us today for the first webinar in our Forging Future series. We're really glad you're here. My name is Sapna Jain, the Fund Development Manager here at Iron and Earth, and I'll be your host for the webinar today. The purpose of today's session is to create a space where the people who have worked alongside us and participated in our programs can share their experiences directly with you. Forging Futures will be a quarterly series that highlights stories and insights from communities involved in Iron and Earth's initiatives across the country. So if you enjoyed today's session, we'd love for you to join us again in future events in this series. And so now a little bit about Iron and Earth. We deliver programs that support community driven climate solutions and reduce barriers for people seeking a future in the green economy. Iron and Earth was founded within Treaty 6 territory and the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 4. As you can see on the screen, we offer a variety of programs. We organize community talks and host an online tool called the Climate Career Portal, which includes a powerful and completely free mentorship program. Through our Prosperous Transition campaign, we conduct community-driven research on the just energy transition. Everything we do is geared toward understanding the real needs of those most impacted by climate change, so we can tailor our programs and empower people with ground-up solutions. And in alignment with today's webinar, our Renewable Skills Initiative, in which we deliver training programs designed to increase energy literacy and promote local energy diversification by working with partners in interested communities, often remote, indigenous, or otherwise left behind in the energy transition, where community members take ownership of renewable energy infrastructure. We focus on building relationships with communities or local partners well in advance and on maintaining those connections after the project is completed. Through this work, Iron and Earth helps build local capacity, support meaningful employment pathways, and ensure the transition to net zero is inclusive and community-led. We tailor the scope and scale of each project to the specific needs of the community through a process of genuine dialogue and mutual understanding. Our first Forging Futures webinar focuses on key lessons and stories from the past year of collaboration between Iron and Earth's Renewable Skills Initiative, the NunatuKavut Community Council, the Town of Cartwright, the Sandwich Bay 50 Plus Club, and the Green Sun Rising team. Today is a chance to hear directly from community members, ask questions, and get a closer look at how we work together to maximize the impact in community-centered renewable skills projects. Thank you again for all being here, and welcome. We're excited to get started. And so, now I'd like to begin the core of our presentation by introducing Marion Ada, Iron and Earth's Director of the Renewable Skills Initiative. Marion holds a master's in sustainable development and project management and brings a strong background in managing environmental projects and supporting successful transitions to renewable energy. She leads full cycle project execution and implementation, making sure each project meets its goals while meaningfully engaging local communities. As an immigrant to so-called Canada, she brings her own lived experience of navigating a new economic and cultural environment, and she deeply believes that every person has the capacity to adapt change. And now I'll hand it over to Marion. Welcome.
Thank you, Sapna. I would like to first acknowledge that I'm usually located on Treaty 7 territory on the ancestral lands of the Yari, Nakota First Nations, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, the Blackfoot Confederacy First Nation, and the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. So today, our guest speakers, as Sapna said, were collaborators in the Community Solar Skills Training programs that we delivered in Cartwright, Newfoundland and Labrador, known as well by many of the Inuit located in that land as the NunatuKavut. And we collaborated in that project with the NunatuKavut Community Council, which you're going to hear NCC for the acronym, and with the support of local stakeholders. The project structure was quite complex, with the Town of Cartwright being the owner of the Marion Centre, where a 10.2 kilowatt solar photovoltaic system was installed, and the Sandwich Bay 50 Plus Club, which is a community nonprofit that operates the building of the Marion Centre. We commissioned Green Sun Rising as a solar installer for this project, and their installers played a key role in training the participants from the Cartwright community during the solar installation, alongside Iron and Earth's lead instructor, Devin Kitts. The community solar skills training was successfully completed by 11 community members. Would like to start this session today with a mini documentary that was recording during the project.
You see the signs of Cartwright, so everybody knows everybody. Everybody is your neighbor.
So the definition of community, in my opinion, is exactly what's happening in this community. They come together, they help each other out.
The 50 Plus Club, to me, is the hub of our community.
We work with the youth in this community and with the school and with the recreation committee, with the 2 churches that we have here. And so it is very active, very active. We're a diesel-operated community.
All of our 10 diesel-dependent communities, they're reliant on a less optimal form of energy. Iron and Earth, one of our long-standing partners, we had been engaged with them for the training components of this project, and they had funding to be able to fund the installation as well. So thanks to Iron and Earth, this opportunity has come to fruition.
I think it's a really important thing we're doing. The education and just the awareness is probably the most important part of it, and getting these communities a little less reliant on their diesel generators is a benefit for everyone.
When we get this project done, it'll be an example that people can see, and if this is going to save us on the hydro bill, it's going to be a wonderful thing.
With this project, the rebate we're going to get back with the solar panels installation, that's huge for us. That's money that can go back into the community.
And then we raise the bottom nut for the center rows to match it. So they all just touch the string. That way they all stay one flat level plane. And when we install the solar panels, it essentially will look nice and finished.
We're coming here to do a project, invest in the community, and do the training so that the community gets the most out of it. We're training these ladies and gentlemen in all aspects of solar, from the installation to maintenance and troubleshooting. So if the system ever had issues, from what they learned in classroom, that they can take it on hands-on and fix it for the 50 Plus Club.
Been looking forward to getting on the roof and just being at this part since the course started, because I'm more of a hands-on person, but I'm pretty excited to get at this stuff and just do something with my hands.
The way we do our training, we do 5 days in class, 5 days on the roof. So we started class training where we went over solar basics, electricity, we went over the life cycle of solar PV system and troubleshooting and maintenance of those systems. Every single person in the program got to actually do every single stage of the electrical install and the solar install.
From every individual that came forward for this training, I've heard the same, and it was that they all were really, really eager to know more. So those trainees, they came into it with an open mind and really an eagerness to learn about this, and I think they got that this week.
The people that, that are showing us these things, teaching us how this is all coming together, giving us the confidence to do it. This could be a stepping stone into a career path that you never even thought about.
I would say the highlight of the solar panel installation course would be the outcome. Reducing diesel, relying a little bit more on something a little bit more organic, something a little bit more renewable, and a little bit of camaraderie mixed in with that, I would say would be the best part.
I worked in pretty much every province in Canada, and every remote community you go into, they're so thankful for everything that you do. From the minute you get there, from the minute you leave, they're very welcoming.
I mean, this has never been discussed in our community before until it was brought up by NunatuKavut saying we could have this pilot project. What do you think? Wow, it sounds like a great thing for a place like Cartwright, for every community. I would love to see it expanded. I would love to see more of it. Can you imagine if we could get some on some of the roofs around here? What a great carbon footprint that would be.
Even a little bit helps, and have that sense of pride. I completed that, I was a part of that, and that's the panel I put on.
I'm thankful for the 3 youth that we have doing this training, and they're going to be able to pass that building and say, you know what, I had a hand in that. They are the voices that are going to extend that for this community and beyond.
So today we have all the actors from the video, most of them who are joining us. We have Krista Ockford and Madison Dyson who are joining us from the NunatuKavut Community Council, so NCC, while Judy Party, Sandra Mockford, and Priscilla Clark are active members of the 50 Plus Club, but they also wear many different hats. As an example, Sandra Mockford was the RNNS local liaison on the ground this summer. And we also have Tony Petkovic and Eric Amon joining today from Green Sign Rising. I would like to give a deep thank to everyone who joined today's webinar, and also thank Marigold Bandari, our Operation and Administration Coordinator for RNNS, who is going to moderate the webinar and the question and answer Q&A, and Sabta Jane. Thank you so much for facilitating this webinar. Thank you, on Nakumek in dictate.
Thank you very much, Marion. And now we're going to have an opportunity to hear from all of our guest speakers. I will kindly ask each of our guest speakers to unmute themselves one by one and give a brief introduction about yourself and your involvement with the project. So Krista, could I have you please start us off?
NunatuKavut, that means good day in Inuktitut. Krista Vanga, my name is Krista. I'm an Inuit member of the NunatuKavut Community Council, proud Inuit member, and have worked for our organization for about almost 5 years in various roles. And I've landed back in the Department of Energy as of a year ago as the acting director and manager. So I get to work on all of these exciting renewable energy projects that NCC are endeavoring for reducing carbon footprints, like Judy had said in her video speech, on our territory and in our communities. So I'm very happy to be here with the team.
Thank you so much, Krista. We're happy to have you. Sandra, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sandra Muckford, and I'm a full member of NunatuKavut, and I was the community liaison with Iron and Earth, and the treasurer with the Sandwich Bay 50 Plus Club, and I too was very, very happy to be part of this and happy to be here today with you all.
Thank you so much. And if you can have Judy right there behind you also introduce yourself.
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Judy Purdy, and I am the chair of the Sandwich Bay 50 Plus Club. And I am totally honored to be here to be a part of this continuing on, especially with the group that we had to work with. They were just absolutely fabulous, both the Iron and Earth and Green Sun Rising. You could not have sent a better group of people into an isolated Labrador community to bring forth the project that they brought forward. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much. And I'd like to pass it to Priscilla to please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. It's good to see you all again. My name is Priscilla Clark, and I work at a community hub here in Cartwright, which, as you know, that is attached to the 50 Plus Club. So I was able to work with Energy, Krista and Madison and Sandra, and do some coordinating for this project. It was absolutely the most amazing thing to be a part of, and exciting. Like you go home in the night and go to bed, and you couldn't wait to get up in the morning to come back again, because that's how it was rolling out, like the excitement. So yeah, I think that's all.
Thank you. I'd like to now ask Madison if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Madison Dyson. I have been working with NCC now until since May 2024. I started off as an energy intern. I'm now an energy officer. This project was very, very, very good to be a part of, and I'm happy to be here with everyone today.
Thank you so much. Tony, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey there, I'm Tony Petkovic. I'm a solar engineer at Green Sun Rising and involved in the training with Eric for the Cartwright project with Iron and Earth and NCC. I've been with Green Sun Rising for 8 years almost in February, and happy to be part of the team, and had a really good time with the Cartwright system and installation training.
Yeah, my name's Eric. I've been with Green Sun for about and a half years now. I'm a project engineer, and I got to be part of this great experience with Tony and working with the fine people at Cartwright and NCC and Iron and Earth. And it was both a great technical and cultural experience, and really happy to be here and see you all again.
Thank you all so much for being here today. And so now we're going to jump into some of the questions we have prepared for this webinar. Again, after each presenter, if you do have any questions, please pop them into the Q&A. We'll keep an active monitoring there, or we will ask them towards the end of the question period. So my first question is for Krista. Why was it important to implement this project as a small-scale program and training initiative in Cartwright at the Marion Centre specifically?
So before I get into the answer to the question specifically, I'll just kind of give a landscape of where Cartwright is located and what is going on there for energy means. In NunatuKavut territory, it's the southern central part of Labrador in Newfoundland, Labrador in Canada. And we have 10 diesel dependent communities in our territory. So those communities rely on energy or diesel generators for their heat security and energy in those communities. So conducting or completing a successful solar installation project in either of those communities significantly enhances and helps our clean energy footprint in those communities. NCC is passionate about building a more sustainable and self-determined energy future in our communities. So when we were looking at doing this project in Cartwright, it checked all the boxes. It's an improvement to the energy landscape in that community. It starting from on a smaller scale project platform is important for teaching community members more about the energy technology. We've done community energy planning in all of our communities, and most of our home owners and community members wanted to see smaller scale projects. They want to learn more about wind and solar before we endeavor into those technologies. And small scale demonstrations like the 10 kilowatt installation in Cartwright is a very sizable project to have community members become familiar and comfortable with it. They learn more about the technology and they're able to take part in it in their own communities.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And for providing that lens of it was a need of the community, and when things align really well, it is really a privilege also to be able to say yes to the opportunity, because sometimes things don't align all at the same time, but when they do, it really brings together some magic. Thank you so much for sharing, Krista. I'm going to jump to my next question as I keep an eye on the Q&A. My next question is for Sandra, Judy, and Priscilla. From your perspective, what short and long-term impacts is this project going to have or is already having, or maybe that you hope it will have on the community?
I guess I'll get it started. This is Judy here. With regards to the short-term impact, it really brought the community together in a very new and a very different perspective. When it comes to a power source that is different than the diesel that we normally have. The curiosity brought out people. It brought out men, women, young and old, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, and everybody was all inclusive. It was as one big group, and I think that that was a what would you call it? Learning, a very knowledgeable project that these young people learned, and they didn't miss a minute because it was so interesting. And so well brought together, by the two groups that came in. I think with regards to the long term, it's too soon yet. Almost, it's only been a few months, and we have talked to Newfoundland Labrador Hydro. We have sent all the information to them. And Sandra did contact them again this morning for an update. But as you know, there's a wicked storm going on in Newfoundland, so nobody's working today. So hopefully, as soon as we get the data and that we can see where we're going, like with regards to the financial part, we're paying our monthly bill, and we're looking forward to see what this rebate is going to be, which is going to be a wonderful thing for the 50 Plus Club and for our local town council as well. So it's a little bit early yet to determine that, but as soon as we find that out, we'll be out shouting it from the rooftops. We certainly will. Fantastic project, wonderful project.
Thank you so much. Priscilla, would you like to add anything else?
No.
All good. Thank you so much. I'd like to direct my next question to Madison. You're a little earlier in your career and you have a STEM background. How has this experience impacted you, how you think about STEM work and the community? What kinds of skills, technical or non-technical, are you adding to your resume after this project?
I think this experience has showed me that when it comes to STEM, there's such a broad spectrum on how we work in that field. When I was in university, I done biology and chemistry. With that, I learned about energy efficiency, mostly from a scientific perspective, such as how global warming is impacting our world in different ways we can try and lessen our impact. After learning about this, I have always been very interested in this side of science. So to be able to be a part of an energy efficiency project really opened my eyes. Cartwright is a small community, so to be able to show that even here solar energy is possible, and to be able to teach our community members of the positive impact it can have has been very rewarding. I've always wanted to work in relation to my degree, and now that I am, I'm very grateful. Some skills I would be adding to my resume would be all the training that we have done. We done a really wide range of training, such as like the solar installation and even like safety training. This training, I think, like any future projects, if we decide to maybe do other solar projects with NCC, that's definitely going to help a lot. I was fortunate to be a part of the planning process as well, which included many meetings online. And at first, I wasn't going to join the training part. I have a fear of heights, so I was gonna like opt out of that. But my boss definitely encouraged me to try it out, which I'm very grateful for, because with that being part of that training, it gave me a very deep understanding of the solar installation, and I actually got to do the hands-on part, which gave me like more of a better feeling of it instead of just being a part of the planning and being in the background of it. I was actually being able to be a part of installing the solar panels. So I'm very grateful for that. This experience was something I've never done before, but I did enjoy every minute of it, and I have gained many new skills from this that I do plan on using in any future projects.
Thank you so much, Madison. And I love to hear this type of testimonies, because being in fund development and being behind the scenes for a lot of these projects, I don't get to hear or see directly from the people. I get to see the end results. And so it's really nice to hear that all this hard work came together and there were some really great takeaways. Thank you so much for sharing. And I hope we're able to replicate that with the other participants as well. Really appreciate it. Tony and Eric, I'd like to now take my question over to you. Green Sun Rising has installed many solar projects in northern Canada, 67, counting this one in Cartwright, if I'm not mistaken. Tell us how incorporating community members' capacity training into this project in Cartwright was different than the other ones.
Yeah, so you are correct now. It is 67 as of Cartwright, and we've updated our website recently. And that's 1.8 million almost kilowatt hours a year generated. That's over 500,000 liters of diesel saved throughout these 67 communities, which is pretty fantastic number, I think, to get us started. The training aspect, in terms of how it was a little bit different, we've worked with Iron and Earth once previously on August 2022, where we worked in a community called Rigolet, and we were able to incorporate a similar kind of training, a little bit of a smaller group, a little bit of a different size system as well. But what was really nice to see in this community group were some of the younger people taking an interest. Madison's, I consider her one of them as well, and what she just spoke about with her kind of facing some fear of heights and going up on the roof and getting that firsthand experience. I thought that really showed a lot of the community, what you can learn in training courses like this, how it can benefit the communities. And as I believe Sandra and Judy touched on a little bit as well, other people in the community, they were able to see us all day on the rooftop for those several days that we were working. There was a children's playground there, and I think that that was another kind of example, something that could inspire children in the future to want to go into renewable fields like these.
Yeah, I agree with Tony there. It's just one of the biggest things, the differences between the projects we've installed before versus this one is trying to translate the technical aspects into something that is workable and easily digestible and approachable for people who've never done it, and taking the theoretical approach and training that they had in the classroom and putting that into practical skills. And these are all like translatable skills. It's not just applicable to solar systems themselves. And it felt really good to see, just even within the couple weeks being there, like the progress that everyone seemed to have, and just getting to work with the community, because we've never, I mean, other than the one project Tony mentioned, we've never really got to work even remotely this closely with the communities that we've been in before. So I think that was the biggest difference, is actually seeing the fruits of our labor, so to speak.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, there's a question following up to your response there. So, as Green Sun Rising, you were able to teach the community members how to install, operate, and maintain a solar PV system. What did you feel you left with from Cartwright? So, what did Cartwright maybe teach you?
For me personally, a good sense of community. I mean, it's nice to see some of the people here again, Judy, Sandra. I see Gail over there with Priscilla, Marion, of course, Madison, Krista, everybody. It's just sort of nice to make those connections, all across the country. I know many of us aren't in the same place, and Canada is the second largest country in the world. Just that little bit of understanding of what it means to be a community and how to stay in touch and keep updating each other on our lives. And I think that's been a very positive impact for me personally.
I love to hear that.
Yeah, likewise. It was a really impactful experience, and also got to learn, a little bit about the culture and the background of Cartwright and these indigenous communities. And it felt good to, like I said, put one with the other, like just the physical and the technical aspects of what we do, seeing that come out into a community and how it impacts people, and sort of um, inspires that greener energy movement, which is ideally, at the end of the day, what we want.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you both for sharing. I do have a few other questions that are coming to specific people, but I want to kind of open the floor to all of our speakers here. A question for you all. Is there a specific moment from the training or installation that left a lasting impression on you? One that showed you how valuable this project was for the community, for you personally, or for the trainees? I'll give you guys some time to think if you need. Just unmute when you're ready.
I could get us started if that's okay. I actually saw the moment that I was thinking about in the video that you were playing earlier, when was on the roof and I was working with him and just kind of showing him a little bit about like the wiring, the drilling in there, and making the strings, all the DC wiring on the roof with the rails. And he just had this like big smile, which was a pretty big moment for me, because you could see that it's actually impacting a person. It's showing them that, there's a lot that they could do that they maybe never even considered doing in the past, knowing what was out there. And perhaps, had never potentially been on a roof before doing this kind of work, and he might find that that's sort of his thing potentially. So it was nice to see that, we're giving people an opportunity to learn some new things that could hopefully impact them positively for the future.
I too, Tony, was going to mention this youth here in Cartwright, and he sat through training every day and listened and couldn't wait to get up on the roof. And during the installation part, you've seen his smile. I had asked him, like I did every day, how's things going? Are you enjoying it? He said, this has been the best 3 weeks of my life. So he really took, yeah, it was, I'll never forget it. There's so many that I'll never forget, but that is definitely one of the highlights for me.
Amazing.
I'll just say something as well. I mean, Cartwright is a fabulous community. Like they pull out all the stops for all of our cultural activities. Um, you're not going to get better service, more kindness, more care in most other communities that you go to. I think we can all attest to that after spending the few weeks we did there together. I think for me, I mean, it's the whole project. I can't even pick out one memorable moment that will stay with me forever. I do always like to think back to one of our youth who took part in the training and overcame fears. And I'm not saying any names. And then, confidences grew and went on to become a council member in the municipality of Cartwright. So there were so many moments or benefits from this project that I think we'll continue to see growth come from. And that's just one of those moments. That's an example.
Thank you so much. I have a question from our audience here. It's from Megan. Her question is, what was the general interest to do the skills initiative in the community? Was there more interest than training spots available? If yes, how did you navigate the selection process?
Is that a question maybe for me or Marion? I'm kind of looking at Marion, but
I was looking at Marion too.
yeah. And Sandra, you had first hand dealings with the applications. I know we had to go out and speak in the community quite a bit to encourage. I think being clear on what was expected in the training and how it would roll out. It was busy cultural season in Cartwright during the time of the project. So there was that competition there, I guess. So yeah, Sandra, I don't know if you want to say whether it was easy, hard, if we had more or less.
I think we would have gotten more had it been for trainees, had it been a different time of the year, because it was fishing season, berry picking season. So it was a time to gather within our community and to get ready for the winter because, it was fast approaching. So I think we had up to 16 at one point, but because of that fishing and gathering time of the year, some decided to back out. And I think if it was a different time, we would have filled the spots and then some, for sure.
Thank you. Marion, would you like to add something?
Yes, for context, we had a very tight timeline to execute this project. So the window to deliver the training program and do the solar installation with an experienced solar installer as Green Sun Rising was actually very short. We had like a 10 days window. With that said, we received in total 20 interest forms from people from Cartwright and also from a couple of other communities from the NunatuKavut Community Council. But when time arrived to confirm their availability and their interest, there were only 14 people who confirmed. And then by the time the training really started, like a few days later, there were only 12 people who who were onboarded into the training. And then 11 of them could complete it. So just to give a bit of context, like there are lots of things that changed sometime last minute. Some people were having some medical condition and had to drop out. So we had 11 people starting the class training, and we had 11 of them completing it, which I think was quite successful. And this was possible thanks to mainly the work of the local liaison. Sandra for Iron Earth and Madison for NCC.
Thank you, Marion. Actually, building on what you've shared there, I'd like to ask, what aspects of working together were critical to successfully deliver this project? There's so many different partners here. What was really important to making sure that this became a success?
I think communication. Communication was absolutely key. And Marion done a really good job with, because when I first met with Marion, I was like, oh my gosh, like she's dotting her I's twice and crossing her T's three times. Like she was very precise. Like she knew exactly what she wanted from me, and I knew it. So timelines were critical for her, and I identified that and was able to we were able to pull it together. Madison and I, we got together and done an open house, like just to gauge interest and stuff within within our community. So for me, I don't think it would have been as successful if for all of us involved that communication was huge, and it was first and foremost, I think, for all of us.
Thank you.
Just to add to that, the communication, and I think they have very strong leadership. Just to echo what Sandra said there, from everyone, but there was a lot of dedication and engagement because we work with people or have worked with other people that just it's just not there, so things fall through the cracks. But this was like everyone was on the ball all the time, and then when things did happen, everyone was there and fixed it, got it done. So I think that was really important, was just the sheer dedication of all the leadership and the leaders involved.
Thank you. I'd like to now just offer this question to everyone. Please, if you haven't had a chance to share as much as you'd like to, please jump in. What tips would you give to similar community groups who might be interested in a project like this?
See somebody else come on, Judy. I must say, like I didn't take the course. I was there every other day. I did drop in and have lunch with them a few times and so on. And it's just I was just amazed at this group of people that came in from outside, and to take this group of people, very diverse group of people locally. And some people that were taking this course said, wow, it was a surprise that they did. And to see the intent, to see the interest in this project and all these people, the young and the old. And I had a son that took that course, and I had a grandson that took that course, and he sort of had to drop out because of exams, but he was just smitten with it, and he's still talking about it. And with regards to giving a tip to somebody else that wanted to take this course, or that would be interested in it, another community or whatever, I don't think I'd change a thing. I don't know if it'd be possible to have the same group of people that came in, and the same group of people that were on the ground, the Sandras and the Madisons and the Priscillas and so on. It was just absolutely amazing to see this group of people and to blend together so well. And Marion was there, and Krista, you're fantastic. I mean, NCC and the two of it. And before I forget it, the person that spoke first, I don't know if it was this lady over here, but somebody was doing the introductions, and they had mentioned NunatuKavut instead of NunatuKavut. So I just wanted to put a little correction there that it is NunatuKavut and not NunatuKavut. Okay, just for clarification, because it's two distinct different groups. But I tips. Work together. Be open, be transparent. In everything, in all your dealings, and as Sandra mentioned, communications is a really big deal. And I'm always saying, follow up, follow up, follow up. And that's very, very important with something like this. And as Marion mentioned, I mean, timelines, you're talking about, government money or other specific money, and you have to follow these guidelines. That's all that you can do. But certainly, if they could do it, maybe make it at a different time, because when you're talking about the Labrador South Coast, you're talking about the very picket and the fishing season. And that only happens once a year type thing, that fall of the year, and the hunting and whatever. This is very important to all these people. So one tip would be that check the time, see when you're going to be able to do this, where people would be available. But this was absolutely fantastic course, and I'm just so proud of everybody that was involved in it, and how the locals pulled together, and how the locals made this happen with all of you wonderful people. Thank you.
I'll just continue to and give a couple of comments. timing is everything for the success of the program. I feel that the tight window that we had here was not anybody's fault or because of any one thing. NCC had been looking at this project for probably a couple of years. We've been collaborating with Iron and Earth. We've worked with Green Sun before on 2 other successful projects in NunatuKavut. And I think, planning early and looking at lessons learned from different projects is important. Funding confirmations are definitely important. We had federal funding fall through for this one on our end, and that may have been the biggest cause of some of the delays in the spring, of getting the timelines down and situating when we were going to do this. It ended up being such a smashing success anyway, the project, even with the overlap. But I would say that one of the biggest pieces that we can attribute all the success of this project to was Iron and Earth's oversight and project management skills and leadership on this project. In particular, Marion, who was on the ground a couple of times during the project, but there was also other people working in the back. Like, it takes a team, right? And a team from all ends. So, Green Sun has their team, NCC has our team, Iron and Earth has their team, and all combined, the effective communication, the strong leadership, the connections made, the genuine interest in the success of the project made this one a success. And I would say if anybody were to do this in another community, make sure you go in early, consult with the communities early, or the Indigenous organizations representing the communities, make sure there is adequate consultation, and adequate time for planning, and partners. We've had long-standing relationships with Iron and Earth and Green Sun, so you develop a camaraderie over the years, right? Like, we know how each other works. We work well together, and you not saying that going in with new companies or new organizations is not, can't be successful. But I think a lot of the success from this project was the fact that we all work so well together, and we have great relationships together. So, communication and the team leadership and dedication is definitely a benefit to a successful project.
And I'd love to put in another 2 cents too, on like a smaller level outside of administration. If there are other communities, particularly in Labrador, but any diesel communities throughout Canada, 2 very important words I think I'd like to share is speak up. Go and if you want to see change, you got to be part of that change. You got to make a little bit of initiative, and you need to contact some people. Maybe it's levels of government, premiers, whoever it may be. If you guys want to start seeing some change, everyone has a responsibility to implement that. And it starts with communication, not unlike what we're doing here with this webinar as well. But speak up and let it be known. And you might be surprised that there are many avenues in order to achieve a successful project like this anywhere in the country.
That's so important. Thank you so much, Tony. Yes, we definitely have to speak up. It's the only way we get heard. I just want to offer anyone else, if anyone else wants to share anything before I wrap up. I want to say I have had the opportunity to be in a few calls. Oh, did someone want to add? Yes.
Hi. It's so good to see you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm Reverend Gail, an Anglican priest here in Cartwright, and I was one of the participants of this. So a few people asked me, well, why are you doing this for? Because my calling was being a priest and everything like that. I said, well, one is because knowledge is powerful. And I said, more knowledge to have, the better it is. But also, I think I was probably the oldest they are doing it. I'm 57. And I wasn't the oldest? Okay. Well, I was up there. Johnny. Oh, right. Johnny is older than I. So the age thing as well is showing and setting that example for people. I just want to talk about my experience with them. It was just amazing. Like you said, each day you went in and you were just looking forward to each day. All the leaders, the knowledge, knowing what you were doing. Oh my gosh, I was just blown away by it, and done in such a way that we could understand, which was so important, right? Speaking and not over our heads, but with us, patience and guidance and all that. It was just absolutely fantastic. The friendliness, you never was made to feel unimportant in this project, and that's hats off to those who are leading this and giving us that opportunity as well. It was just amazing. But it was the business part of it, but it was also the personal part of it, because we formed the relationships and we formed the friendships. And I don't know, but I know a lot of us talked about, like, when you guys all left, there was a void as well. It just wasn't the business void of meeting every day, but it was that connection that we made. And like you said, we're in contact with each other because of it. The hospitality that was shown, because I know a lot of you were able to get out on the land and go out and boat, and was able to do that as well, and welcoming into the home. And just again, it shows that the hospitality that Cartwright puts out there. And of course, I have to talk as well about the meals that were served, because that was so important as well. It was just up and above, top notch. The caterers of the 50 plus, top notch, and the dignity and the professionalism in which it was served as well. I mean, if you went away hungry, it was your own fault. Absolutely, because there was abundance of food, and it was done so gracefully, and it was just wonderful. I have a T-shirt that was given to us, so I wear my T-shirt when I'm outside of Cartwright a lot of times, and so that I can say, "Oh, someone say, oh, what's that about?" And I said, "Well, let me tell you what this is about." And so I'm just sharing that knowledge with others as well. But I want to just say thank you for the opportunity to be a participant in this, and to form the relationships that were formed, And we tormented Tony, because he recently got married, right? And so we kept saying that we were going to show up at his wedding with our own chairs and our lunch bag. So it's that fun and that friendship that we created, and I'm very thankful for that. So I just wanted to share that with you all.
Yeah, we were definitely half expecting you guys to actually show up.
Road trip.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Gil. It's always a pleasure to hear. And I was just saying that I've had the opportunity to be in a few group calls now with you all. And every time I come into the group call, you guys are all so happy to see each other. You guys are referencing things. You guys are so excited that you all get to like see face to face. And I think that just is an example of the relationships that were built on the ground during those 3 weeks, that they're for life. It's not just a there and done. Those relationships are going to continue forever. Thank you so much to all of you for taking the time to share your stories, your insights so generously. Our community, I just want to individually thank you all, our community partners from NunatuKavut Community Council, the Town of Cartwright, the Sandwich Bay 50 Plus Club, and Green Sun Rising. Your experience and perspectives are truly at the heart of this work. This has been the first session in our Forging Futures webinar series, and we hope it gave you a meaningful look into how community-centered renewable skills projects unfold on the ground. We'll be sharing information about future sessions in the series, so please keep an eye out for upcoming invitations from Iron and Earth. Once again, I want to thank you all so much for the time you spent with us today, and for the interest in the work that we do to bring communities together. I wish you all a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. It was a great pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. It was great seeing you all.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
it was
too.
good seeing you guys too.
See you.